Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be reacting to this video titled Christian Morality is Bull, so yeah, let's get into it.
The history of Western civilization is mainly Christian, and that the external forces, for instance, the spread of Islam non-violently or violently, and the challenge of Islam and the message of Islam to Western civilization can be countered and should be countered with the message of Western civilization, which is essentially Christian.
I do not like that.
Since I think there are more people who agree with me, but that is on the societal level.
I don't like that at all.
On the civilizational level, I think that every moral, you've used yourself, Richard, the phrase lately that there is moral Christianity and there is cultural Christianity. And when moral and cultural Christianity collides with moral and cultural Islam,
I think right off the bat I just want to say that almost by definition I think every religion opposes every other religion, because otherwise what does your religion have to offer?
Or moral and cultural Confucianism or cultural authoritarianism. I think that perhaps we're on the same page about that might be a way of countering it.
Yeah, that's super frustrating to me. I 100% push back on the idea of Christianity being tied to Western morality, because first,
I think morality should be based on what the individual sees as right or wrong, like regardless of their religion. Their religion may play a part in how they view the world, but I think people at least should put secular ethics first, because that's what's most practical in the real world.
First of all, Western morality is actually more predicated on empiricism and the individualism that resulted from a highly rational and material framework of the Enlightenment. That's why we have individualization issues. That's why we have isolation issues. That's why we have such a highly technological society. It is because of the Enlightenment, the scientific revolution. The idea of Western society, which really should not even be propped up.
I will say that a big part of why I think Western civilization has outperformed other civilizations is because I think we were among the first to become secular. I think if we probably kept being religious for a longer period of time, I don't think we would have progressed as much.
As a better form of morality than the rest of the world, since it's also hand in hand with imperialism and colonialism. First of all, the idea of suggesting that Western society is inherently better because it's Christian just has so many layers that I just fundamentally disagree with so hard. And again, I understand she's coming from a background that I cannot relate to, but it's just so frustrating, because it's like, okay, so you believe in God, that's fine. That's fine if you're a theist. Why are you propping up something that, by the way, in response to Islam being more authoritarian?
Islam is way more authoritarian than Christianity, and it's not even close.
Maybe in her experience that is true, and maybe that is the case throughout the world. I can't necessarily speak to that, but I 100% see so many authoritarian narratives within Christianity. Are you kidding me?
I think all religions have an authoritarian aspect to them, at least the vast majority of them do. It's just that I think religion is basically, the big thing about religion is that it can't be changed, so the authority which is already in the religion is, at least for the most part, there to stay. Like, I think Christianity doesn't really have much of a legal aspect to it. It's more of like a moral law thing, I think. I don't think it's Christianity commands you to enforce biblical law through a way of government, but as I said, morality, especially when it's religious morality, tends to not change with the times, and that's like religion's main flaw.
We are talking about that all of the time on this channel. about how Christian nationalism is like one of the biggest threats to our way of life, because it is combining religion and the state. It is combining church and politics, and I'm not interested in that. I think that
Christian nationalism, especially in the US, I feel like in reality they've detached a lot from religion. I think whenever I hear Christian nationalism in the US, I think of like people who like put Trump above Jesus. Like then they in practice they tend to like worship Trump essentially, and they're willing to put like a religion to the side if it means that they can support Trump just a little bit more.
it's so harmful and so dangerous. We can agree that inequalities exist throughout history, but we do still reap the benefits of the good parts of the Enlightenment. Yes, 100%. Like, I am glad we went through the scientific revolution. I do think it is still tied to a lot of issues that we have, and that I can see how, like, even the result of the new atheism movement as a result of the scientific revolution and the Enlightenment, like, even through the new atheism movement, there's still a lot of the more spiritual and I guess you could say mystical parts of this reality of our life that we are missing, that we just need to kind of like bring back into the foray of the mainstream human zeitgeist or whatever. There are plenty of people who have a sense of morality outside of Christianity, so that is inherently flawed. Also,
I will say that it's most definitely possible to be moral without being religious. Religious basically means that you have a set, fixed moral code, and for the most part it's hard to change that. At least if you secularize morality for like yourself, the individual, you're able to like relate it to like real world experiences and like have it more with the time, so to speak.
also, how about the Spanish Inquisition? How about the colonial conquest of the Catholic Church, the doctrine of discovery? How about the Salem witch trials, which were only a couple hundred years ago? Babe, only a couple hundred years ago. That's not that like super far in the past, where we had people being put to death because of their gender according to their.
Like, yeah, this is like part of what religion can do. If you just like say, oh, I'm going to put a curse on this or that, like 500 years ago or something, or even like in a few countries today, that's like punishable by death, and that's like definitely the ugly part of religion.
Fucking religious interpretation? You've got to be kidding me. You've got to be kidding me. And also, within the framework of Christianity, within that organization itself, there are so many different denominations and interpretations of the Bible that people are squabbling within Christianity itself what Christian morals actually means. The idea of Christianity being the absolute morality isn't even true within Christianity itself. I cannot handle that. The idea of Christianity being tied to some evolved and better version of morality is so frustrating and so wrong and such bullshit.
There is this bigger cultural, societal impact
here we go.
that you've really been in the middle of, Richard. You came out as a cultural Christian.
Cultural Christian is insane. Cultural Christian is insane. That pisses me off so much too on Richard Dawkins' behalf. Cultural Christian pisses me the fuck off. Oh my god, I was a cultural Christian, which meant I was white supremacist, which meant I was like heteronormative.
I will say that I think white supremacism is detached from Christianity. I think it's just like certain people who are really politically involved want to mix both religion and white nationalism or supremacy with each other. But I think that's a minority of people, or people who are like have like a bunch of sway in politics. I don't think that's your everyday voter.
Supremacist, oh my god, that pisses me off so much. That pisses me off so much. Cultural Christian pisses me off. I hate that. I hate it. I hate it. Oh my god. Oh my god. You tell us what you really think. Yeah, am I being chill? I don't care. That pisses me off so much. And this is why I wanted to watch this video, because I know this is like a year old at this point. But there's so much about Richard Dawkins that I really push back on, and I think that nothing discredits him more than that claim itself. This idea of like adhering to truth, but culturally being a Christian, blows my fucking mind. I'm almost like the literal reverse. I push back against the culture of Christianity, and I accept that that which we don't know as truth might be more powerful than truth itself. First of all, because what do we even know about truth? What do we even know about truth beyond just...
Truth should be objective. It should be something which is observed, and it can be... you can say it and there's like no opposition to what you've said, because I think when multiple people come in and saying they have the truth but they don't have enough evidence to support that, then their truth is basically what they want to be the truth and not the actual objective truth.
What a bunch of scientists have gotten together and collectively agreed that their subjective experiences of this reality agree upon. Okay? I don't even think that we can get to the nature of objective truth, of what is actually true, without going through the subjective experiences of all of the people agreeing on the same fucking thing. Oh my god. Two transphobe, right-wing cultural Christians debate on stage, but only one of them triggers you. I don't get why, Kayse. Both of them have triggered. I've been like equally frustrated about two different things here, or about like two different people here. They both have frustrated me in different ways. I'm not chill. If you want someone chill, you know, go find Tradwife content.
I don't believe you have to have a religion. I think it's patronizing to suggest that people do need a religion. But if they do...
I do agree with that. Like, saying to people that they must have a religion is basically trying to make other people conform to your way of life, and to your way of life isn't always the best for everyone.
You need a religion, and I'd rather it was Christianity than anything else.
Oh my god. Richard! That breaks down everything we've been working for, bro. That's not cool at all. Oh my god. That's crazy, because you know what? I don't think we need religion either, but if I had to choose a religion, it would not be...
I do think that humanity would be better off today if religion never existed. I think religion was something which was made thousands of years ago just to have sway over large populations and act as like a proto-government to basically what governments were back then. Like, instead of like liberal democracies, you basically had religion ruling over people.
Monotheistic or patriarchal, bro? Are you fucking kidding me? What about paganism? At the very fucking least.
I think paganism tends to be like more associated with like nature and the things around you, rather than like a political type religion where there's like a god, and that god is saying like what humanity has to follow, and every religion has its ups and downs, this and that, but I think paganism, it tends to not have like a supreme god giving down a law, and because of that I think paganism tends to be less political, and it's more for like the individual to judge what they want it to be and interpret it for themselves.
What about Wiccans? What else? Whatever else there is. You know? Oh my god. Of course you would pick Christianity, because it's patriarchal and that props up the ideas that you benefit from. You've got me fucked up. Richard.
And that's the end of the video, so thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.